The following is a Fox 40 News special presentation.
Thank you for joining us for this special edition of Fox 40 News, honoring Black history, mind, body, and soul. I'm Sincere Tonsel. Tonight we'll bring you stories of African Americans who are making a difference in communities across Northern California and beyond. We start with the Sacramento group helping Black people cope with the psychological impacts of our nation's complicated past. When you hear the term PTSD or post-traumatic stress disorder, you may associate that with veterans battling memories of war, but many situations can induce that reaction, including racism. Researchers say finding oneself in racist situations or expecting bias not to be called out and punished because it hasn't been in the past can be overwhelming. Now here is a look at how Sacramento's Safe Black Space is combating this country's racist history and its present-day toll on African Americans' mental health.
Step on Black! Black lives matter!
Rather than all the messaging that we have typically gotten about that not being valuable.
This is bigger than Stephon. Stephon was nothing more than a catalyst to spark this moment.
I think about how many people I've met that were walking through the silence of their own trauma.
I hereby declare this to be an unlawful assembly.
Just feeling connected, like this really is family.
Born out of the community's need to share its fears and frustrations after Stephon Clark was killed by police in Sacramento, Safe Black Space is still embracing people 4 years later. The birthing process can be chaotic, but on the other side of all that, something beautiful, according to those who find healing in this circle.
I didn't know I could be around folks like this who are loving and who I could be in community with and who are intelligent and who are, pouring into me.
That pouring in is about filling up the psyches, the spirits many African Americans say are repeatedly hollowed out by racism. Some of it latent, much of it not so. Like when Dr. Jacqueline Ollison, who also happens to be the only instructor of color at her school, is challenged by her subordinates about leading her department, all because of the color of her skin.
To question your competence. Oh, you're a math teacher? You really have the skills to do that? Yeah, I actually do. And so when you say it's traumatizing, it feels like everything about who you are and your essence is questioned, like 1,000 paper cuts, right? Just after a long time, it's just very, very painful.
It's repeated instances like that and the having to press on in the face of it that leave many wondering what to do with their anger and dismay. That so much has yet to change after the supposed achievement of equality in this society.
There's such a way that the Black experience has been demonized when we do have challenges. Oftentimes when you think of the different symptoms of what mental health, how it looks, people will determine that as a bad behavior, or that person is violent or threatening in so many ways, when really a person's going through a crisis, a mental health crisis that they can't even often articulate and understand.
There are some things that still haven't been repaired. And when there's been an incident and we say it happened, but we do nothing to repair it, we do nothing for those folks who went through it, and then we just say, oh, that was the past, that lingers on, and that lingers on through generations and families.
Through acknowledgement of what people have experienced and affirmation of the feelings those moments create, Safe Black Space works to translate it all into positive steps forward.
To know that, in this space, and realizing that you're not alone, I think it feels like, gosh, okay, I'm not crazy, right? This does happen, and it helps to alleviate some of the anxiety. But it also shines a light on stuff I didn't actually know I was feeling.
Those outside of the circle may be confused as to why a group so focused on being respected as equals in society would self-separate into a color-coded environment. Safe Black Space founder Dr. Christy Hagans likens it to who might be in a support group for domestic violence victims.
Those women who've been abused by men, you wouldn't question the idea that that abuser, that perpetrator would be in that group, potentially re-traumatizing those women.
But she also wants everyone to understand that uplifting Black people doesn't detract from anyone else.
We love everybody, right? That it's about loving and supporting our people without the detriment or the disconnection or devaluing of anybody else. And so if folks can understand that, frame, then we should be all good. It's actually meant to create a sense of unification as we all experience the healing that's so necessary because of the racial divide that has been part of our history.
Safe Black Space has been expanding locally over the last 4 years and internationally online during the height of the pandemic, but all with volunteer help. Thanks to a recent grant from the MacArthur Foundation, this healing initiative will be able to hire staff and create the full-time organization that members have dreamt about. They also hope to expand their healing efforts and curriculum onto school campuses. A 2019 CDC report found Black women are 2 to 3 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related causes compared to white women. A group of Black women in San Joaquin County are banding together to help make a difference for Black mothers giving birth. Fox 40's Christy Gross introduces us to the local doulas looking to change those chances.
I wasn't really emotional, but it's like, ooh, like, is this really happening?
When Kalani Walker lost her mother while pregnant with her first child, it turned what was supposed to be one of the happiest times of her life into also one of the hardest.
I wasn't excited to be a mom anymore because I can go through everything with my mom, how my sister got to, and my brothers, and my mom plays such a big role in all her grandkids' life.
In order to have extra support throughout her pregnancy, she sought out a doula.
I think I leaned on her a lot through this experience because, you know, who else do you turn to? So, and it's been very helpful.
A doula focuses on education, preparation, along with emotional and some physical support.
With the doula, they're telling you straight facts, and they're putting you first.
They just need extra help. They need extra comfort.
Crystal Thornton, a mother of 3, is one of only 5 Black women who recently completed a 16-week full-spectrum doula certification program.
I felt like I needed to be of service to my community.
Doula program was comprehensive. Okay, so they were able to get the education to be able to provide prenatal, labor and delivery, and postpartum support.
Tamisha Valverde is the only Black lactation consultant in San Joaquin County and is pushing for more Black birth workers. Valverde says before she and the other women completed the program in 2021, there were no Black doulas in the county.
Doula support should be a service that families don't have to pay for.
The 5 women now make up the Black Doula Collective with Flourishing Families Incorporated, a Stockton nonprofit Valverde co-founded.
We like to see people who do the things that we want to do that look like us and talk like us and walk like us and are shaped like us and are the same shades as us. And it makes us feel comfortable. It makes us feel at home and at ease.
Thornton says as a doula, she's seen firsthand the difference in how Black mothers are treated in hospitals compared to others.
The history of implicit bias. And you know, and it's still present in the medical field, and they're still learning that Black people don't endure pain. Black people's pain tolerance is extremely high. Black people are really aggressive in the way that they talk, in the way that they walk, in the way that they look.
According to the CDC, Black mothers are nearly 3 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related causes than whites, Hispanics, and Asians. And Black babies die at 2 times the rate of whites, Hispanics, and Asian babies before they turn 1 year old.
There's this fear, like, I might not make it out. That's the first thing, is if I go into the hospital to have my child, am I going to make it home to be able to take care of my child?
So just having that other person there to advocate for them, to make sure that their needs are being addressed, we're going to see that, we're going to see happier families.
Co-founder Erica Dorsey, a mother of 3, says the need is real.
For every Black birth in San Joaquin County should have a Black doula. That's how I see it.
She says Flourishing Families is working to get more Black doulas and other birth workers in the county, which will lead to more positive birth outcomes.
Postpartum depression goes down when you have a doula. Also, we know C-section rates drop, and there's going to be a decrease in maternal and infant mortality rates, as well as an increase in breastfeeding rates.
These women say the time for awareness campaigns is over. It's time for action. It's time for change.
Our babies are dying. Our mothers are dying. And our men are dying in the streets. And so, yeah, I take it personal. Because it's my village, it's my people, it's my community. And who else better to take care of them than us? Who else better to take care of them than someone like me?
Last October, Governor Gavin Newsom signed the California Momnibus Act, which aims to close the racial gaps in maternal and infant mortality rates. Valverde says their organization needs financial support from state and local policymakers in order to grow their doula collective and to meet the needs of the Black community and save lives.
So what we need is consistent funding. We need Black lives to actually matter. We need Black mamas to actually matter.
Christy Gross, Fox 40 News.
Next on this special edition of Fox 40 News honoring Black history, we take a look at those inspiring the next generation of Black women to be leaders in their own communities. How a chat over breakfast led to Detour. To our south in San Diego, a nonprofit is inspiring young Black girls to be leaders in their communities. Fox 40 contributor Liberty Zavala introduces us to Detour.
Hello, everybody. We are on our way to mountain biking.
What started as a breakfast talk for foster sisters in Southeast San Diego is now a thriving leadership academy for girls of color, known as Detour.
Detour is my love letter to the community.
Detour stands for Depositing Empowerment through Outreach and Urban Development and helps girls develop self-esteem, self-love, and self-empowerment.
My confidence, it just went up, and it really gave me like the boost I needed, and I'm more involved in my community than ever. I really feel like I'm just a part of something special.
Tanisa Conwright's goal is to make sure these girls have big sisters to help them through the challenges of life and home.
You don't see a lot of traditional households. You may have girls that are being raised by grandmother, aunt, foster parents even. Right, so that's the one issue. And then two, primarily in communities of color, girls have to take on more responsibility at a younger age.
She knows these struggles well because she's been through it.
That was my story, right? So I am the oldest of my many siblings. There's so many, and my mom had to depend on me when she went to work.
Tanisa learned how to mentor her foster sisters and would go on to mentor more than 1,000 girls through her academy. She teaches them life skills and lessons that they wouldn't otherwise be exposed to.
Talk about, healthy communication, healthy relationships, mental health, surviving high school, surviving college.
But her program, known as FANCY, or Focused and Naturally Confident Youth, teaches them they have what it takes to succeed in college and at their future careers.
We've done a lot of robotics camps. We've visited big places like solar turbines and just amazing things like that around the city. And it's definitely been way better than I could have ever expected. And when I first joined, I had no idea that I would even have the chance to do half of the things that I've done.
The Academy exposes them to charity work, STEAM education, outdoor activities, and gives them a place to learn, grow, and serve.
I joined a sport. Like I said, started my own business.
Tanisa's love letter to the community are the hundreds of young sisters who come out of Detour truly accepting themselves and ready to give back to the world.
Leaving something better than you saw it or better than it started is it's a good way to leave the world to me.
Being able to at least try and help subtract the amount of violence in the world.
If you put the work in, you can definitely just accomplish your dreams.
And that was Fox 40 contributor Liberty Zavala reporting. The girls meet one night every week. Organizers hope to one day expand this program to help girls all over the world. Still ahead on this special edition of Fox 40 News, honoring Black history, meet the Northern California dentist who's been helping and inspiring his patients for decades. From an early age, Celicia Thomas knew she was destined to work under the bright lights. The Broadway star has taken her talents from the San Joaquin Valley all the way to New York City. Fox 40 contributor Anthony Bailey shows us where it all began for Thomas.
And so my first play was Wagon Wheels West. I played like the female bandit, and I loved it.
It was a welcome walk down memory lane for Broadway actress Celicia Thomas. Thomas recalled her early years in theater at Manchester Gate and Bullard Talent.
I'm just a lonely coyote.
Later, she was off to Tenaya and finally to Bullard High.
Having fun on the improv team here, doing the plays, inviting my family.
That's where we caught up with her.
Well, first of all, it didn't look like this. This is like totally renovated. It looks so beautiful.
She was amazed by the upgrade in the facility, and we were just as amazed by the rapid upgrade in her career.
I played Princess Tiana as a vocalist in Mickey and the Magical Map. It was so fun, Anthony. I loved it so much. But then one day I woke up and I was like, I think there's more.
The quest to find more would lead her to the Big Apple, well, at least for a visit.
I put my notice in at Disneyland from New York City, booked a round-trip ticket, was back in New York in 2 weeks after having sold everything.
She relocated. While visiting a friend on Broadway, she learned of an upcoming production. She auditioned and landed the role.
I booked the first national tour of Beautiful, the Carole King musical. It felt like a dream come true. Like, is this really happening?
The tour would give her an up-close look at the country.
We were in D.C. for 3 weeks. We were in Iowa, Austin, Texas.
She would go on to play Diana Ross in Trevor the Musical. Shortly after that, she received the call she had been waiting for. Well, sort of.
I got a text message from my agent saying, your part opened up on Broadway that you did in Beautiful on tour. Do you want it? I have been waiting to make my Broadway debut for over a decade, and it's finally presented and it's in a text.
In 2017, her era in the Carole King the Musical began on Broadway. Still working in 2022, she is grateful as the first day she arrived. Her advice to those that are hoping to follow in her footsteps: embrace who you are.
All the things that make you weird, all the things that maybe people tease you about now, get excited about those things, because all the things that make you different are the things that are going to set you apart.
Beautiful message. That was Fox 40 contributor Anthony Bailey reporting. Now from Broadway to the East Bay, a childhood dream turned into reality. Berkeley-based dentist Dr. Thomas Arnold has spent nearly 50 years teaching his patients proper oral hygiene. Fox 40 contributor Noel Bello shares how he's also continuing the rare legacy started by his grandfather.
How you doing? You doing okay?
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. All right.
I'm good. Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you. It's not every day you get your teeth checked by a Bay Area legend.
Open up real wide. Close your teeth together.
But that's exactly how you describe Dr. Thomas Arnold, aka Dr. Happy Tooth.
And I wanted to create something to try to relieve the fear and anxiety about coming to see the dentist.
The Berkeley-based dentist and his wife and dental partner, Dr. Wendy Wilson, created the Dr. Happy Tooth character in the late 80s, visiting schools dressed as a 6-foot molar, armed with a smile and a toothbrush and floss. Together, they taught kids how to combat cavities and dental decay, even passing out a comic book they created.
And so we pass it out also to the kids. I put a lot of time in it, and yeah, it was really a lot of fun. And hopefully it did some good.
Dr. Happy Tooth was a big hit, earning Dr. Arnold numerous awards and recognition over the years. And though he doesn't don the costume anymore, relieving patients' fears is still his daily practice.
2024 will be 50 years I practiced dentistry.
How many patients is that, do you know?
Oh, I have no idea.
He's been in the same location all that time, too. In fact, the office located on Martin Luther King Jr. Way in Berkeley was originally run by Dr. William Pittman, the very first black dentist to open a practice in the East Bay back in 1930.
Martin Luther King Jr. Way, the street in front of the office, it used to be called Grove Street. Grove Street was the colored line back in the Pittman's days, where all the black folks lived on this side of Grove Street, and as you went up, that's where the white people lived. So a dentist has been in the same location for almost 100 years.
Having a black dentist to look up to wasn't new for Dr. Arnold, though. His passion for the career started when he was just a young boy, visiting his grandfather, Dr. Thomas Lewis Hunter, one of the first black dentists in the South.
I just saw the respect that people gave him and kind of work he did, and so I just always wanted to be like Papa Hunter.
In fact, Dr. Arnold is a third-generation medical professional. He, his grandfather, and his father, who was a medical doctor, all attended Meharry Medical College in Nashville.
And in the black community, that was, very, very different during those times. We weren't accepted into some of the larger white schools at that particular time. We had to go to either Meharry for dentistry or medicine, or either Howard for dentistry or medicine.
He said being among other black teachers and students was a nice comfort zone. But in 1972, he'd get an offer to embark on a new path after being one of just 3 graduates accepted into the dental residency program at Mount Zion in San Francisco.
All my classmates, they were jealous. They said, called me Tommy. Tommy, how did that happen to you? And I just kind of smiled.
While his acceptance was impressive, it also brought on a new challenge. Because for the first time, Dr. Arnold was learning from and alongside people of a different race.
And so I felt a little insecure, for about a week. And then I said, oh, shoot, they don't know any more than I know. And so I kind of went on from there.
What was the biggest lesson that you learned coming out of Mount Zion?
I feel the biggest lesson I learned that nobody was any better than me. I was just as good as anybody else.
Fox 40 contributor Noel Bello with that story for us. Right now, you can check out all of the stories you saw here tonight and even more about the amazing things black people are doing in their communities here in California and beyond. Just head to fox40.com. Thanks for joining us for this special edition of Fox 40 News honoring Black history. Have a great night.